All right, hey, welcome to our last FXR wrap-up show of the series. Hard to believe another summer has come and gone. We're at Walton, racing's done, here we are. The weather is perfect, the track, man, let's talk about what happened here. We'll talk about what we saw. Let's get into it. Greg?
Yeah, last one of the year.
Last one of the year. So we're sitting on the track. They added a ton of sand. I thought this was a real motocross track, I would say. It didn't really get huge braking bumps, but the ruts and the rollers and things, that's the way I saw it. What did you think of the track?
Yeah, definitely the dirt looks a little bit softer. It kind of seemed to fluctuate a bit. At some points of the day it was really kind of hard-packed, more hard-packed than I thought it was going to be. And then I just walked the track, a little bit of it anyways, just before we started this, and it's a lot softer. It's a lot more ruts and stuff like that. So it's yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, you can see some of the ruts are a little bit wider too, from guys blowing through them and stuff like that. So, I mean, different for sure.
And I will say this: the gang here, Barry Hetherington and the gang, they broke a piece of equipment, went and borrowed a piece of equipment. That piece of equipment broke. So this morning they were scrambling. They did what they could, and I thought it turned out well. That there was no dust. They kept the dust down. They did a good job of that. I was really happy with that. So
yeah, it seems to be like I heard positive things all week. Just Barry worked his butt off, and
I don't think he slept yet.
He's probably sleeping right now.
Maybe.
Yeah, and so.
All right, well, let's get into the racing. Yeah, so we mentioned the broken tiller. The weather was good. How about I'm going to say this. I go over to, I have to keep going back and forth to use some Wi-Fi over at the shop. So I go over there, and that's where they park the spectators. So I go over there, and I'm on the Wi-Fi, and I hear the guy parking people, Brett Lee, goes by, and he goes, "Hey, Brett, what are we going to do when this area gets full?" Man, I'm like, wow, I don't think I've heard that before. And it did get too full.
Yeah, I had a moment today where I was taking a break from the racing. I just kind of looked over, and I always forget that's where they park all the spectators because they're so involved with everything over here, and it switched, after a few years ago, and it was packed.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was great, and there was people everywhere. Like, I'm riding around on a bicycle trying to get through. I'm like, man.
Yeah, you almost couldn't ride a bicycle there. I had to go around the edge of the track because it was dangerous.
It was tough. Yeah, it was really tough. And I mean, it was great to see. Like, we talked about it at Saint-Denis, that there was fans. Deschambault had a fair amount of fans. I mean, the Quebec people come out like crazy for any sort of motorsports event, but here there was a ton of people. There was 2-3 deep in certain sections. So yeah. Awesome. Yeah, it was actually, my old buddy showed up and he said, "Man, I can't even get to the fence. I can't even stand at the fencing spots." The whole fence was lined. It's a good problem to have.
Amazing, yeah. So that was great to see. I talked to Mel. Mel was just thrilled. I mean, it was amazing to see. So kudos. I don't know if, the fact that Zach Osborne was here, I'm sure helped, but the fact that just they did a lot of promotion, she said. They threw some money at it, and so it looks like it paid off, and it was really cool to see. So anyway, it's also cool to see a lot of guys. We just finished the Transcan, of course, so a lot of intermediate riders threw on the pro plates and showed up. So that was cool, although we didn't have full gates. I mean, there were only 34 riders in the 250 class.
Yeah, I feel like there was close to full gates in the 450 class, but the second moto was like 28 guys in 250s.
Yeah, it really dropped.
It was really weird watching live timing.
It was weird.
I think just, some injuries and things like that, and yeah, it was weird to see those kind of numbers though.
And speaking of injuries, we'll get to the, someone trying to blow up a bike over there. Anyway, speaking of double class, there was a lot of nonsense going on. I mean, Tyler Medali was going to drop down to the 250 class, so he was out there, qualified first, just ripped it. So then, of course, Tanner Ward says, "You know what, we're going to do the same thing. We're dropping." Well, Tanner didn't say it. The team said he dropped down, so he had both bikes out there for practice and qualifying. Neither of them raced the 250 motos, though.
Well, Tyler did.
Well, I'm sorry, Tyler did. That's where that's. I'm sorry. We'll get to that.
Did, yeah.
Tyler did, but then we'll get to that story. Tanner did not.
No, Tanner did not. I didn't see him in either one, and right. I think he, 450, he was in a good battle. I mean, did he get the whole shot first motor, or did he just get a really good start? I forget, but he was leading a few laps. So I think he kind of decided, hey, I'm going to stick with that. And I know he was going after Moff in the points, so I think he just wanted to focus on that. Right.
So it was interesting. There was a lot of stories we were following along. Josiah Natsky, he didn't race the 250 class, he raced the 450 class, so that was cool. So all kinds of little things like that to talk about. But anyway, yeah, so let's get to the 250 class here and just kind of cover a couple things. As I'm moving up the thing, the first thing is Sam Gaynor. I guess I didn't know what happened. He just disappeared. He's marked as a 31 DNF. It's obviously a DNS.
Yeah.
For him, first moto, we heard he crashed pretty hard and had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, that's what Dave Bell actually told us. But I didn't see him. I saw him in practice, and I knew he was out there. And then I think I saw him at the very beginning of the first moto. Yeah, so I guess he just went down and did Dave say he got thrown into the catapult? I didn't know.
Well, he said somehow it got weird on the catapult jump over the pro finish line, and that's where it went wrong. So anyway, took a trip to the hospital. I was with his teammate. We'll get to that.
Yep.
Rough day for the SSR boys. Yeah, but he did win the premix, so that was the highlight of his day for sure. Hopefully he's doing all right, Sam. Yeah, so that's the first thing. And then just finishing, well, marking as finished here, Tyler Medallia. Sorry, that's why I was thinking of him earlier, that he didn't race. Of course he did. He was killing it. He was leading his teammate. He was leading Mitchell Harrison in the first, and then boy, a bad crash.
Yeah, Tyler was in practice and qualifying, so I'm like, holy smokes, this guy's
He was
gonna
killing
win.
it.
Like, this guy's gonna win. He rides a 250 very well, and it's been so many years since I've seen him ride one. I think 2011 Blackfoot days.
Oh, I did it a couple years ago. He tried
sorry, the
dropping down,
Cowie.
right?
I remember that. Yeah, the Cowie wasn't a great expedition then, but today crushing it. And then yeah, it was leading the first moto and kind of pulling away a little bit. And then I heard a bit of a engine failure or something happened, and then obviously he went down on the finish line just after it.
Yeah, now I heard that too, but then my friend was saying he was watching and he looked over and he saw nose down, but the engine revving hard. So I don't know if it lost. I don't know. We don't know. At this point, we don't know. But anyway,
all we know is that Tyler. I've been told nothing broken. He is getting a second scan in Stratford for his head because he did his head.
Yeah. So his head hit first. He had a nice goose egg starting there. He had his shoulder was all. They cut the shirt off, and I was expecting to see worse when I got over there, but they had him in a sling. And you know, Tyler being Tyler, he almost wouldn't, without being able to see the bumps and stuff, you really wouldn't know. Although he had a real pissed off look on his face.
What else is new though? He always looks a little cheesed. But yeah.
So hopefully he's doing all right. Good to see. I mean, obviously he's got those two big things coming up. He's got ISDE coming up. He's got Motocross of Nations. So let's hope he's okay. He did really bang his head pretty hard though. So hopefully he's good, and hopefully the shoulder's all right.
Yeah, thoughts are with you, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Also, man, 3 in a row here. Boy, sorry for the bad news here, but Dylan Rempel, the Kawasaki rider, was looking good, wanted to get out there, and he had a crash. It was just before the step down, I believe. He crashed and awkwardly kind of tweaked his knee. So he ended up, he was out 29th. Scored in the first one and then didn't line up for the second one, so tweaked his knee. They figured, you know what, let's just sit this one out.
Yeah, I guess I honestly didn't know. I saw him out there, and then I feel like there's so much going on today and so many different storylines to follow that I just missed. I thought he was out there, and then I guess he wasn't. So you know.
Yep, he was there and then he wasn't.
Yep.
All right, now we're going to jump up here again. The area filled in here was full of new pro riders. It's kind of cool to see. Some guys did leave the intermediate plates, are probably going to still stay intermediate next year. Didn't get moved up or move up, but a lot of guys did, so that was really cool to see. Moving up, just a quick shout out here to Zach Ufemzap. He was way back. Came back for I want to just mention him. 14-12 for 13th. Not where he wants to be, but considering he was basically dead last, he came up through the field. So good job to him.
Yep.
That was impressive. Moving up here, cool to see Preston Masiangelo back here again racing. Nice to see him. He ended up with an 8th place in that second moto, so he was strong. He was in a good battle, a good 3-way battle for most of that race.
Second moto, him and Weston were actually going at Weston Rosina, so that was good. I like to call Preston Stretch because he's just so tall. He grew like a weed, so you know, looks good. He's starting to get more comfortable, I think, in this scene, and he's doing better. Like I said, he was top 10 in that second one.
Yeah, which was
some pretty good, pretty heavy hitters.
Yeah, and breaking into the top 10, Wyatt Kerr, good rides from him, 10-9. And Noah Viney, it was cool to see him up here, all the way from California. The Ottawa folks that live in California now. He went 6-10, so for 8th overall. I know at the very beginning of the day, there's his dad, Ulf Viney, checked out the bike and the swing arm was cracked, so he had a spare bike, so they ripped that off. They were replacing the swing arm.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a fire drill for sure. Got out there. He's going through a bit of he had some trouble at Loretta's. He fell a bunch of times in his moto, so not where he wanted to be. I went over and tried talking to him. He wasn't exactly cheery over there, so I didn't get a whole lot from young Noah, but good things in the future for him. He's got his hang with it. He's going through a bit of a tough patch, I would say.
Yeah, he's just getting used to the big bike, and he's doing like a lot of big races and really fast classes too. I mean, the kid rips starts because he's so small. I mean,
he could still be racing schoolboy and stuff.
Essentially,
you know what I mean?
yeah. So he's a great starter, and I mean, not just because he's small, but a great starter. He was up front in both motos, and you know, he did whole shot that moto or close to it, in that one at Pala. So
that's right.
Yeah, so he's going to do well in the future. He's just going to be going through this patch, and he'll figure it out.
Yeah, and then just ahead of him, finishing in 7th was Tanner Scott, coming off last night. I mean, you couldn't. Every 5 minutes we were talking about Tanner Scott. He was up on the stage winning this, winning that. And then he gets the bronze boot. He gets the Rick Joseph Award.
Okay.
I mean, he just killed it, Tanner Scott. So he ended up going 8-7 today for 7th. I mean, the
Solid.
kid, future's bright, man. You see him during the week, man. He looked like just so professional. Looks so good.
Yeah, I wonder where he's going to land if he does, you know, his own thing next year.
I heard a rumor they want to do their own thing.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard, but I also heard he could be getting a lot of support from, we just don't know at this point. I heard two different things. So I know he's got offers, but I also heard that they want to maybe do their own thing just to kind of ease him in, but we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
And Jim Scott, you're probably watching this going, no, what are you talking about? So
Jim still hates me anyway, so we're not really worried about it.
No, Jim's fine.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Weston Rosina, team player, dropped down to get 250 for the MX101 team.
Yeah.
So they had a guy 7.6 for 6th overall. That's your guy?
Yeah, that's my guy Weston. Everyone knows
Gangnam
that.
style?
Yeah, that's my guy. He is still pretty injured, pretty sore. He's got not a lot of strength in his right shoulder and arm. You know, you can see that he was battling. We'll get to him, but him and Quinn, it seemed like when Quinn, we'll talk about Quinn in a second. But
Yeah, well, Quinn's right ahead of him. So
okay, we'll talk about Quinn. So Quinn,
I was impressed with Quinn's riding today too.
First moto, the kid was an absolute freight train. Came through like a rocket ship, and there was no stopping him. So he actually, Weston passed him. Weston kind of got lit up again, and they were both put in some of the faster lap times of the moto, the two of them, and they were you know, 5 and 6, something like that. So Weston will be back for Supercross. You know, we know he's got the skills. I'd be looking for him to be a real threat on the indoor style tracks.
Excellent. Yeah, we mentioned just, it was kind of funny, Quinn, because he charged up and all of a sudden he's in 5th place. I'm like, man, what a moto. Then I turned around, the race ended. I'm like, I didn't see Quinn. Then I was talking to the team manager over there, and I go, did Quinn finish? Is he all right? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, wait a minute. And then he ran, he had to run over here because he's like, maybe he didn't. So he was kind of worried too, but of course he did. He went 5.5. We just missed him somehow. But
yeah,
Quinn,
he seems to be really battling with a lot of injuries too. He showed me he's got a huge bruise on the back of his leg from his hamstring.
Oh, still the hamstring. Yeah, we remember that. Boy, when he got stuck with Jeremy Mackay.
Yeah, so he's having some issues there, but obviously he'll get that figured out. But that kid is he's fit, and he's just, I'll say he's just hauling ass. Like he just got to get
with a start. He just needs
to start. Yep,
for sure. All right, now Sebastian Racine, 4.4, steady Eddie there. He late in the moto was closing on the guys. I mean, great season. He ended up on the podium in the season. So I mean, Sebastian, impressive.
Seb was really he was quiet today. You know, he's there, and you know, but he's improving.
He was moving in, yeah.
And you know, we'll see where he ends up next year. I know he's going to be KTM, but I think it's you know, if he's a sole 250 rider there or whatever's going to happen, I don't know, but he's kind of filling that gap that he needs to and maturing in that role.
Right, and okay, so Ryder McNabb goes into this one with a big lead. What are you, 23 points or something like that?
Yep. Pretty
good lead going in, so knew what he had to do. He had to, if he went 7, 8, and Mitchell Harrison won both motos, he would be fine. They would be tied in points. So that's what he needed to do if Mitchell Harrison won both motos, which he did. But so he's out there. You could tell he had the pace. He just kind of was riding within himself. He looked good. He kind of started moving up and could have started pressuring if he wanted to, but he didn't. He went 3-3, took the title. What can you say, man? Ryder looked great.
Showed maturity beyond his years. You know, I keep forgetting just how young he is, and you know, he just knew what he needed to do and got it done. And we see so often guys in those kind of pressure situations, you know, fold. They get in their own head and have their mistakes or mechanicals or whatever. And obviously, you know, the GDR Honda guys are dialed. His mechanic Braden, you know, made sure that bike was 100%, and he just had to do what he had to do, and he got it done. Now he's a champion.
Right. And how about this guy finishing second? His best, it's got to be his best ever, right? 2-2 for second overall. I don't think he's done that before, has he?
Nope.
I think he's done a third before, but not a 2-2 for 2. Jeremy Mackay, man, gets that ride when Jake Piccolo gets hurt. He's in there, and you know he wants to be ahead of Sebastian Racine just to kind of get himself in there. He wants a factory ride. He thinks he knows himself that he deserves it. He really wants it. Heck of a bicycle rider too.
Yeah, the guy's got an aerobic engine, I say. He absolutely blew the doors off me, so that's I mean, that's to be expected. But he rode really well, and I'm not saying this to put him down, but he surprised me. You know, he didn't really put in a ton of great results before. He was kind of hit and miss, and then today he just crushed it. Like he was just.
He looked really good. Well, you weren't here obviously, but during the Transcan week,
I did see him the final motos.
Looked fantastic. Like he just looked like he belonged to be battling for podiums and wins. Man, he looked good, and I feel like he's turned a corner, like turned that pager, and mentally he knows he can do it, and that's so important at that level. Obviously.
Yeah, he's a big kid too, and he's so I thought maybe more 450 kind of guy. But he seems to really ride the 250 well. So
it'd be interesting to see what happens, right? Hey, the KTM trailer's moving. Where are they going? All right, yeah. So he was second, and Mitchell Harrison did what he had to do, and of course he won a Tyler medallion there. That's why he was in there. Tyler would kind of maybe be in there, and if he could, he would mess up the points. If he could, you know, get in there. But
play a little chess match.
Yeah, a little chess match. Do what he could, right? The team player, you're right there. You got a guy. You got to try to help him out. But anyway, Mitchell Harrison goes 1-1, ends up, well, takes the overall, obviously. Says he loves it up here. I think that everybody kind of welcomed him pretty well too. So
yeah, we go back to round 1, maybe not so much, but he seems to be really accepted, and hopefully he comes back, because he's done quite a good job. He's a really nice guy, and you know, today he crushed it. He looked really good.
Yep, so good for him, closing out on a 1-1. The team over there is pretty happy about that. So the season, Ryder McNabb takes it. Harrison finishes second, and Racine finishes third. So that's
good for Seb. I didn't know you got third in the points. Good for him.
I hope I'm not wrong, but I thought he was up there. Yeah, he was. But yeah, so that's how that went. That was the 250 class. What a season! Like I say, I can't believe we're at the final round already. But yeah, it was cool. And of course, we had the because, as we all know, Dylan Wright has clinched the 450 title, so we did the traditional number ones doing whips and stuff over there, so we were over at the natural double. That's why things were a little late tonight. That's why the results weren't up right away. That's why the interviews.
We had stuff going on.
A lot of stuff goes on in the final round, so we didn't want to miss the team photos, the burnouts, the jumps. So I apologize for that, but that's where we were, and that's why. So all right, let's get over to the 450 class, because we're running late. Okay. All right, let's go. First thing to talk about, we mentioned Chris Blackmer. He crashed and shoulder? Yeah, shoulder.
I was told it was shoulder, yeah.
Yeah, I saw him in a sling over here.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't that big of a crash from what I was told. I didn't see it, but I was told it didn't seem that big, but you know, we don't know that. He maybe had a previous injury or something like that, but he was
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, poor kid. Yeah. But he was DNF in second, or first and second, I think.
Well, yeah, he would have been 30. He went at DNF, DNS, I think.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah,
I think he got scored, but anyways, whatever.
Yeah. All right, let's move up here again. We had 37 riders officially on this list here, so 37 riders. Lots of stuff going on in the middle there. Great to see all the guys. Jumping up here, I was the first. I want to say, did you see Brendan McKee 991 there in that second moto? He was up battling with the top guys.
No, I didn't see him in that one.
I thought, wow. Oh yeah, he killed it, and he stayed up there. He ended up 10th in that one.
Good for him. Yeah, he's kind of shown us some flashes of brilliance and some real speed. So I know he spends a lot of time at club in the winter. So hopefully he can kind of take that.
Yeah, he's putting the
and
time
fine tune it.
Yeah, it was just cool to see him up there. He was up there for a while. He definitely did kind of move back. I mean, he ended up, like I say, 10th. But wanted to give a shout out to him, because that was an impressive ride there to finish out the year. He's got to be pretty happy with that. Zach Osborne, obviously one of the number one stories. We had a lot of number one stories.
Never heard of him actually, but yeah, Zach was up here. Awesome guy, super happy he was here. I mean, the guy was a 2020 AMA Outdoor 450 champ, and he's a Supercross champion. Like you know, we've had some really big players come up here over the years with Davey Millsaps and, you know, other guys. It was really cool, and I expected things to go a little bit different than they did. I actually was right there when he crashed, right before the rollers, just slid out.
Oh, is that where it was?
Yeah, it was right there. Unless he crashed somewhere else as well. But
I'm sorry, I thought it was a start.
No, he crashed the first moto, slid out. He was coming into battle with Dylan, I think it was, or Tanner.
Oh, okay, so I'm sorry.
Tanner, I think.
I moved on to the one that took him out. Sorry.
Yeah, no, he slid out and kind of got stuck under the bike a little bit. Bike was pouring out coolant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened the second moto, but you know, he was pretty twisted up after that.
All right, and interesting too, like practice, him and Dylan, they got right together. They were kind of like cat and mousing it for sure, and qualifying and practice and stuff like that. So it was, the big thing was, you know, was he going to be able to break the streak? Turns out no, the streak was safe. We're going to get to, well, we'll get to that. I think we all know what happened there. But then he kind of, well, it's funny because I talked to someone and when he came in and they said, yeah, but are you going to be able to do it for 30 minutes? And I guess he kind of winked as if, oh yeah, don't you worry. Well, I don't think...
Well, I think he went down. I think he had more jam, but that when he crashed,
the crash kind of did it.
Yeah, he seemed to be kind of maybe bike was twisted or something, whatever. But
and the second moto was his first turn crash, and then he pulled right into the mechanics and then left.
Yeah, I don't know if he went. I didn't see him go down. Did you see him go down?
I didn't. I took it on video. I was shooting video, so I.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of missed the start a little bit, but I know he did like half a lap or like not even a few corners and pulled in and.
Yeah, I watched him. He rode right through the mechanics, then he rode off and rode back.
Yeah, done. So I don't know what happened, unfortunately, but.
Yeah, the problem, these days are just so damn busy that we don't have time to get over and do that. But Pit Reporter should have been on that one.
I was sleeping. Just kidding, I wasn't actually. I haven't been sleeping in days. But anyways, yeah, I don't know what really happened with him, but great to have him up. Love to see him back again. Super nice guy. He was super chatty on the bike ride. Just a cool dude. Would love to have him back up. And yeah.
All right. Cool to see RJ Roy. Did we just say Roy or is he a Wah? I think he's a Roy.
I think he's a Roy. He's an Englishman.
He's an Englishman, yeah, 13:11 for him. Just, you know, I was kind of wondering who's the 7:14 during the week there because he was racing. I was like, hey, RJ Roy's back, cool. Anyway, cool for him to see him 11th. T Parrott was 10th. And Liam O'Farrell, how about that second moto, man? He's up there in 5th. I'm like, there were some crazy
all by
battles.
himself.
Yeah, all
absolutely by himself. I don't even think he knew he was in 5th.
I know.
Like he was just there by himself. I was like, holy smokes! Like
I didn't see what happened in the first one, but he's a 15.5 for 9th. So something obviously happened in the first one. I don't know if it was a start or...
I don't know. I didn't see that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, the 5th in that second moto was impressive. So good for him.
First moto, I will say the lappers, they got into lappers really quick.
Right.
So things got really messed up after that, and I kind of lost track of who was where other than the top couple guys. Cool
to see Nate Mason, a good friend of Chris Blackmer's there. He's from Georgia. He, number 103, ended up 8th, 9.9. Felix Lopez, a 6.8. He, I think, was he down in the first turn too and had to come back through the pack in the one moto? Man, he looked good. He got, again, he ended up on his own and stuff too, but he ended up 7th overall. Yeah, he looked good actually. He was pretty aggressive coming through, you know, just seems to have some bad luck and some crashes and stuff, but yeah, it looked good. I was joking with his mechanic Joe. It looks like he's wearing football shoulder pads underneath his jersey because he rides with his shoulders up. Oh, it's kind of funny riding style, but it seems to make it work because he's not a very big guy either. No. Yeah, and then ahead of him, Sean Moffenbar came into this one. He got run over pretty badly at the Transcan here doing it in the Pro-Am Moto. So he's been hurting for that. And so they went into this one. KT just said, listen, you need 8.8 to stay 3rd. Do that, so he went out 8.6, so he didn't give himself a ton of room. Jeez, but sweating. But yeah, and I was watching, and I didn't really know the extent of how bad he was feeling, but I was watching like, oh, something's up with Moff. Oh, he looks like he's walking around pretty sore. Yeah, but good to see he was able to hang on to that and grab that 3rd place. So 3 gets 3, that's cool. Keelan Messon showed up, raced during the week, raced today, looked great. Yeah, I mean, massive handguards. Yeah, big handguards, big guy. I'm gonna say I think his gate prep was a real big factor in how well he did today. Yeah, you jumped in. Yeah, I jumped in. You know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, thanks a lot, Bill. But Carlson Racing, teammate of mine. Brent texted me and saw me on the TV or on the broadcast. On the TV, on the internet. And anyways, saw us up there. So yeah, it's great to have Keelan back, and hopefully he does a bit more racing next year. Yeah, and he was down in that first turn crash too, and had to charge up. There were a whole bunch of the good guys were crashed up and had to come through. Was up and rear fender. Oh yeah, I know. I kept looking at. What's he looking at? Yeah, rear fender was flapping away too. So he was a 5.7 for 5th. Not where he wanted to be, but considering he was down and had to come through, so that was good for him. Good ride, I'd say. How impressive was Daniel Elmore? He was also down, came back to 4th in that second moto. The guy was flying. I kind of wondered if he was going to be able to kind of back up his some of the good results he's had last little while, but I mean, obviously he crushed it. If teams aren't looking at that kid, they should be. Teams should be looking at, if you're looking for someone, you want a Canadian, Daniel Elmore should definitely be on the short list. Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, Courtney Lloyd's going to give him up or not, though, because Courtney loves that guy. 7.4 for 4th, the kid. I mean, he was flying. The kid looks great. Really doing well. He's on these, as I like to say, he's trending upwards. He is trending upwards. And Josiah Natsky, we mentioned him. He raced the 500, I almost said, the 450 class. He's racing the open class in the Motocross Nations for New Zealand. Wanted to get some testing, wanted to get some riding on the bike anyway, get a race under his belt. Looked good, had that frightening crash. My buddy, as I like to call him, my buddy Josiah, just looked unreal in practice. I honestly wondered if he could win. He looked so good. He was only like 0.4 seconds or something like that, or a couple of, point whatever off of Dylan and Zach. And I was like, holy smokes, like, where did this guy come from? Obviously New Zealand, but it was really good, and he got good starts. Rode really well. Huge crash. It's on Triple Crown, I think, Automoto Co. Those guys. Yeah, Brad caught it, boy. Even of course he slow-moed it. So if you want to watch it, I just can't get enough of you guys. You too. Yeah, but tell you, a horrible crash. He was doing like helicopter this way. Well, that's the way a helicopter goes, I guess. So he was cartwheeling sideways. Anyway, he wasn't good. Could have been worse. Yeah, I asked him after the moto. I said, "You okay, buddy?" And he goes, "He's like, yeah, my shoulder's a little bit banged up. But I'm okay." He's like, "More in my heart than anything." He said, "I'm happy to walk away from that one on the stage." He said, "So yeah, just go watch the video." Yikes! Yeah, it was a scary one. But he got up. He ended up 3.3. Still ended up 3. Still held 3rd in that. So 3.3 for 3rd overall for him, man. He's the guy is fast and fit. Yep, and and lucky. And how impressive was 2.2 for Tanner Ward, best ever 450 finish? Yeah, kind of a hometown kind of race for him. He seems to have his, he's big here at Walton. He's got the bike ride, lead laps. Yeah, racing for mental wellness. He's doing a lot here, and he seems to have fans, and people get stoked to see him. And he doesn't have like a fan club or anything, but I always hear people cheering him on specifically. Absolutely, so, grew up here, racing here from little kids, so feel a good story for sure. For sure he was. And like I say, he led some laps. He was up there. He got a taste of it. And he was just pressuring Zach Osborne too. He was coming.
Yeah,
he got by him, then he just battling him, chasing him down. And then when he messed up, then he ended up with a 2-2. So a very impressive ride for Tanner Ward. Yeah, good to see that. And of course, the streak, man, that second moto. What did he win by? He said a minute 20, a minute 16. I heard Dave Bell say minute 16 officially.
And I don't know if he won by that or if he might have won by more, but I heard the minute 16 a few times, and
it was incredible.
And, the one went 1-1, and honestly, I say this with all respect, thanks Dylan for such a boring season in a way, because the kid just crushed it. He deserved it. The GDR Honda team, you know, bikes were dialed, never had a no mechanicals, no flat tires.
That is amazing.
And you know, I'm gonna give a quick shout out here to Justin Pecker, and I know that was kind of a shout out to him. They did it on the podium and stuff like that, but he has worked for some pretty big guys, Colton, and you know, got him through all the championships that he won on Hondas, and now Dylan, and you know, I don't know last time a GDR Honda had a mechanical on a 450, to be honest with you. Just awesome.
He looked good, and he won that award too. Courtney gave him an award last night, and of course, or was that today?
Today.
Was that today? Sorry. Today, and I'm he's a shy guy, very shy. I'm yelling out, speech, and he's like, I am not talking. So he did not want, he just behind the scenes, does his work, does it very well, does not need the accolades. We're giving you accolades right now.
Yep.
But does not want to, he didn't like the limelight. He does not like it.
No, good job, buddy. Awesome, good for you.
So that is that's a wrap. I mean, okay, so Dylan takes first, Tyler Medallia second, Sean Moffenbauer third. That's your season.
Canadian top 3.
No, yeah, Canadian top 3, which is nice to see. No real surprise there, I don't think, in the overall finishes. But
nope.
That's the season. That's a wrap. This is now the final night at Walton. We're going to hang out and see what everybody's doing.
Yeah, have some social time, I guess.
Have some social time.
We're now into Supercross, the indoor-outdoor part of the Triple Crown.
Yeah. I just want to, hey, thanks to everybody for watching these. We've had a lot of fun doing them. We were going to do a walk and talk, but those things will go about 40 minutes. We're going pretty long here anyway, but...
Yeah, we appreciate it. We get a few people coming up and say, you know, they like watching what we do, and honestly, I didn't know if anyone watched it, so it's cool to have some positive feedback, and we appreciate it. You know, give us some negative feedback too, but more positive, if anything. Keep the negative to yourself.
I haven't heard anything positive.
No, just me. They like me more. But yeah, we appreciate it, and thanks very much for having us at all these races, and you know, it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, and thank you very much to FXR Moto for their support for it, and we look forward to doing more stuff like this with Arena Cross, Supercross coming up. We'll be sure we'll be there. Yeah, first week in September. All right, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you at the races.